top-rated schools, a private golf club, and estate-level homes right near downtown Austin. If you've heard about Westlake, yes, it's true. It's that good. And right in the heart of Westlake is Westlake Country Club. That's right, today I'm going to tell you all about the golf course, the amenities, the schools, the nearby hotspots, just basically what it's like to live there. Stick around to the end and I'm going to wrap it up in nice little pros and cons so you'll know everything you need to know if it's right for you. Hi, I'm Nicole Cooper, UT Golf alum and real estate pro, and I've been helping people buy and sell homes in the Austin area for over 15 years, especially in golf communities. I don't just know the market, I've walked every single fairway and played these courses, so if you're looking for someone that knows lifestyle and the golf communities, you're in the right spot. Let's get going on Westlake Country Club. So Westlake Country Club, where is it? Let's hop over here into the map and look, it's only about 10 miles west of the actual downtown Austin, and that's not even as the crow flies. So it's not far. You head out through Rollingwood and Westlake and you pop out here. While we're here on this map though, I want to show you this green area here, and let me switch over to satellite so you can actually see the trees. So one of the most prized possessions of Westlake and the greater Austin itself is the Barton Creek Greenbelt. And the Barton Creek Greenbelt does start in kind of South Austin there at Deep Eddy or the Barton Springs Pool, right in the center off Auditorium Shores. And you can see it goes right through the center of Westlake all the way out, and it kind of falls into the Westlake Country Club golf course. So that Greenbelt, it has sculpture falls, it has twin falls, and it's absolutely beautiful when the water is flowing. You can also walk at any time. There's hiking trails all down it. If we haven't had much rain, you can walk in the creek bed. If we have had rain, you can swim, you can kayak, and then on the walls, there's rock walls in these places. You can actually climb the walls. Let me just show you, while we're here, a couple of beautiful pictures of what it looks like down in the creek bed of the Greenbelt. And we'll go into greater detail in this a little bit later, but this is something that you need to know from the beginning, because the Greenbelt is just, it's such a treasure to have, to be able to get out there and hike on it and just be out in nature, and nobody can build out in that area ever. Well, ever is a very long time, but at the current status, no one can build in this part of the land, and that's why it is so precious and well preserved out in that part of town. Okay, I've switched back to the regular map here so you can see. I'm about to tell you about all the school districts, but Eanes ISD is one of the best ISDs in the state, even the nation. And from the country club to the high school, you're only about 3 miles away. So that's a really good, easy commute from the majority of the Eanes ISD map zone. And I can show you that too. If you see here, this shows you where the Eanes ISD lines run. And let me get out a little bit to give you your bearings. So here is downtown Austin. Here, just west of Mopac, heading to the west, this whole area out here is the Eanes ISD. So this area here, called the Hills of Lost Creek, that is where we are looking today, because the Westlake Country Club is right down here. So most of the actual country club is in the Austin ISD, but most of the people that play at the Westlake Country Club live over here in Lost Creek. Speaking of, the Westlake Country Club only just changed its name within the last couple of years. It used to be called Lost Creek Country Club. They did a remodel and rebranding, and we'll go over some more of that in a minute, but now it's called Westlake Country Club. So in general, any home that is listed or that is for sale in the Eanes ISD usually commands a bit higher value because the school system is just that good. So how good is it? Well, let me show you. First of all, we have our entire ISD here that gets a 94 out of 100. Just over 7,700 students. Here's a diversity graph here in the middle, and under 13 students per teacher. Now I'm going to show you the high school and the 2 middle schools. There are a handful of elementary schools, so we're not going to go through all of those. But Westlake High School gets a 94 out of 100, just over 2,800 students, and they are around 14 students per teacher. One of the 2 middle schools, Westridge, gets 95 out of 100, just under 900 students for enrollment, and under 13 kids per teacher. And the other middle school at Hill Country, also 95 out of 100, 975 for enrollment, and just under 14 students per teacher. So you can see by these these grades why people will pay extra for their home to be inside this public school system. Now let's talk about the golf course, my favorite part. So if you look here in the map, this is the overview of the golf course, and you can see how the Barton Creek runs right through it. And also take note how the houses don't really front the golf course in the middle. They're on the outskirts. You'll have some properties that overlook from afar, but you don't have homes backing to every golf hole like on most golf courses. So you're going to be much more back in nature than some of the other clubs in town. Now this course was built in 1972. It's kind of a more traditional layout, but you're going to find a lot of tight fairways, and you're going to find some layup shots for some dog legs. So it's best to play with a member the first time you play, so you know, or have one of those cool little apps on your phone so you can see how far to hit it to get around the corner, which also means there are some drivable par fours. It's that old risk reward situation. It's not like PGA level flashy, but it's a super serene and beautiful hill country golf course. You can see this picture here where it backs to the Barton Creek itself, and here's a bit of an overhead view. So this parking lot here is right at the club. You can see some tennis courts there. I'll show you those more in detail when we go over the amenities in a minute, but this is the boundaries of the club, and that's the Greenbelt, and that's what makes this course super special. Here's another one of the par fours here. You've got a few bunkers lining the fairway, but mostly you have to work with trees. You have to hit it straight or else you're going to be hitting tree shots all day long. And here is the final finishing hole, number 18. When they redid the renovations, they made this the signature hole with this waterfall in the back. So you're hitting over this pond here to that final par 3 finisher, and you've got all your money on the line there. You're hitting into that waterfall, and it's a super fun finisher. So let's talk about membership for a minute. It's part of the Invited Company, and the Invited Company is a worldwide company where you can have membership bonuses around the world. This would be your primary membership, and that membership for full golf and everything is $85,000 at the moment. But with the Invited XL membership, you would have opportunities to play other Invited clubs around the world for a discount, or you can dine there. You can use their social clubs as you go around the place. So it's kind of gives you a link to other sister clubs around the nation by joining this one. And we do have one other club in town that's part of the Invited Company, and that is the Hills in Flint Rock Falls out in Lakeway. So they kind of can bounce back and forth with their membership just a little bit. You can get on their website and see just how many rounds you get, and you just pay for a golf cart fee or a minimal fee when you go to the other clubs. It's kind of a really cool process so that you can play other clubs when you're traveling nationwide and worldwide. Now, let's talk about the renovation. This club, as I've already mentioned, used to be called Lost Creek Country Club. They did a renovation and finished at the end of 2023 with the golf course. Lanny Watkins came in and redesigned some holes. They redid some bunkers. They did some changes on the golf course, as well as they did a lot of things at the club, and we'll go through that in just a minute. But basically, they expanded the short game area and the practice course. They lengthened the driving range with more targets out at the end of the range, so it's more suited if you want to practice these days than it was before. And again, they just tightened up the club or course a little bit, made a few more challenging holes and those drivable par fours. So as it stands now, the course renovation is complete, the racket sports is complete, and a few things in the club is complete, but they're still working on the final renovations in the dining areas. So now let's talk about the homes you can expect to buy in the area. There are going to be a lot of multi-level homes because it's built on the hills in Lost Creek. And basically the majority of homes are going to be 80s and 90s construction. The golf course started in the early 70s, so you're going to have homes from the 70s forward. There are some new construction homes in the area, and that generally, again, takes place of a tear down. You're going to have a lot of remodels, and the reason new construction takes place of a tear down is because the neighborhood is built out. Something that starts in the 70s, been building all along. The majority of homes are 80s and 90s. So when you find a nice home in Lost Creek, it's generally been completely renovated. So let's have a look at 3 examples here. The first one here, 2,049 square feet on about half an acre, listed for $854,000. And this one was built in 1979. So you're gonna see that this one has been fully remodeled on the inside. And then if you look here to the right, that's that multi-level living I was talking about. You're kind of up in the trees, and some of these homes won't even have backyards that are usable anyway because it's such a steep drop off. So all of these things go into the pricing for these homes. And this here is the front entrance. You don't see this in too many neighborhoods, but you see this quite a lot in Lost Creek. The street would be out to the front of us or behind us, and then you have this wooden deck or walkway up to the front door because the terrain is so steep in front. But here's another view of the updated living area to the kitchen, and you can see out those big, beautiful windows, how you're just kind of living up in the treetops. And here's the last view of the kitchen. Our next home is a little bit higher price point. We're at $1,095,000. We're almost 2,200 square feet, a third of an acre, and built in 1981. This one is the standard 2-story home, but again, you don't have the walkway to this one, but look at the stairs leading up to the front door. That's very common in this area because you don't have a lot of flat land. This one also has been redone. Of course, at that price point, you're going to have a remodel. Anything under $1 million and has a little size like over 2,200 square feet, it's probably going to be less on today's trend. Once you get over $1 million and over 2,200 square feet, you're going to have some remodel in there. And there's going to be every variation. Some will be just the kitchen done, some will be the kitchen and bath, and some will be completely gutted, and that will show up in the price. So check out these beautiful wood ceilings here. I mean, that's craftsmanship right there. And then we go into the dining room here. And that is kind of an example of how this community has these closed off kitchens because the homes were constructed that way a long time ago. So generally speaking, if you find a home from the 70s or 80s and it has that open living area, someone has moved a wall already. And our last example, this one is pretty new, built in 2019. So it's going to feel much more on today's trend from both the outside and the inside. If we look at this from the front, we can see all of the black framing around the windows and doors, and more windows and doors than normal, or than we would see normally in Lost Creek. Beautiful white stucco on the outside. Again, the level walking up to the front door. This one has a beautiful pool out back that kind of feeds down towards the back of the house. But this is that design that's currently on trend. Everything's white and the frame of the doors and windows are that dark black. So you can see how this one is much more modern than the others. And here is the coup de grace, the kitchen, all white, waterfall countertops, pendant lighting, all the things on modern trend. And that is what commands this price at $3,295,000. It's also much larger at almost 5,200 square feet, just over a third of an acre. But that main thing is it's built in 2019 on a beautiful lot. Okay, up next, let's talk about amenities. This is their website that you're seeing right here, the Westlake Country Club website. They have fitness rooms, the 18-hole golf course, of course. They have pickleball courts, racquetball courts. They have dining areas, both kind of more casual outside, and then they're still working on their inside dining room. But I'm going to just tell you all the things that they did during the remodel. Resurfaced tennis courts, transformed 2 tennis courts into pickleball courts, enhanced the lighting around. They upgraded and expanded the pool decking. They added great resort-style furniture and a new sound system. Added shade structures. They did at the Roost, that's their little dining area, they added shaded seating, weather-resistant shade walls, lounge-like atmosphere. And then the sports club, that means the fitness area, it's actually 3 rooms. So on the first floor, lockers, pro shop, and on the second floor, you have techno gym equipped cardio and strength zone. So think all the machines. And then on the third floor, you have your classes for like Pilates and yoga and things like that. So in addition to all the good things they did with the club and all the upgrades they made, they continue to carry on a full social structure for the membership. Think kids clubs, dining experiences, wine and dine, tournaments, the works. So if you're looking for a club that really, really focuses on community, this may be the one one for you. Now we're gonna talk some nearby amenities not part of the club. So the main thing we're gonna keep focusing on is this Barton Creek Greenbelt, because it is such a cool piece of Austin and a wonderful place to get outside and experience nature. And just for example, right here inside Lost Creek is the Hill of Life Dam. This is what the Greenbelt looks like in this section. Beautiful little waterfalls. Now, of course, this is when we have rain, not during a drought, but you can head down there and swim, sometimes kayak when we've had enough rain, and just really enjoy being out in nature. Here's one more example when the water's flowing. And here is an example of one of the rock walls, the limestone rock walls. You're gonna find people out there perfecting their climbing skills up and down the Greenbelt, because there are plenty of opportunities out there to practice rock climbing. Now you're also very, very close to shopping and restaurants and everything that you need. This is where the golf course is right here. And just up here, you have a huge shopping center and Westlake Medical Center, multiple restaurants, grocery stores, things of that nature. And then right down here, you have the Barton Creek Square Mall, which is actually a shopping mall. It's an indoor mall. It has all the department stores and the boutique stores as well. And the cinema and restaurants and things like that. So you're super close to anything basically that you need. You just get out, 10 minutes in any direction and you can get to shopping and restaurants. And one last thing, here's the Lost Creek Club here. If it's a bad weather day or too hot, you can always come up here to Rock Golf, where you can perfect your swing indoors with the simulator. So that's not too far away as well, maybe 8 minutes from the country club, and those are for those bad weather days. So here are the pros and cons in a nutshell. First off, for Westlake Country Club and community, the schools are A+. You're in Eanes ISD. Second, you're close to downtown, yet super private and in the hill country. It's a prestigious club with emphasis on the community vibe. The area is safe, serene, and beautifully maintained. And lastly, the Barton Creek Greenbelt. Need I say more? Well, what's not so hot about that area? Well, there's not a lot of golf course view homes. They just don't come available very often, and I showed you that in the map earlier. There are not a lot of homes on the golf course. Good for golfers perhaps, but bad for those golf course views. Second, it's the price. Homes are expensive because you're in that beautiful Barton Creek area, the Barton Creek Greenbelt area, where you can just hop down there and hike at any minute of the day, and you're in the middle of the golf area, so prices are high. And lastly, traffic can be a bear. Out on that 360 during rush hour, you don't want to have to commute too far if you don't have to. So here's what I tell my clients. If you like a little bit of seclusion, but really close to town, luxury, an 18-hole golf course and a community vibe, this could be the one for you. If you're looking for cutting-edge clubhouse tech, this might not be the club for you. So does this community resonate with you? Do you want to see some homes in person? Well, we're always available to help you look. All you have to do is text us, call us, email, set up a Zoom call, and we are here because we're always available to help you find the perfect home that matches your lifestyle. So until next time, be kind to yourself and others, and I can't wait to see you around town.